Hi and welcome to today's episode in which I have a go at making Pommes Anna for the first time, which Julia Child apparently said was the supreme potato dish of all time. I recently overbought potatoes by accident when I got my online delivery. So I was browsing through my cookbooks, picked up the Larousse encyclopedia to see what the Frenchies have to say about potatoes. And I saw a recipe in there for Pommes Anna. The dish is thinly sliced potatoes that are arranged in concentric rings and then cooked off. So then the kind of top and the bottom, and I guess the sides, go nice and crisp, while the inside is lovely and creamy and tender and soft. Within a matter of days, I then got taken out by a really bad infection in my chest and sinuses. And by the time I'd mostly recovered enough to consider doing a dish, the potatoes had all sprouted. The dish sounds incredible, so I've decided I still want to make it. I've been a bit thrown off my stride. I just got a message on a group chat that apparently there's been a shooting down the street from me. So I've had a look on Reddit and apparently some nutter has gone on a bit of a crossbow rampage. Like, can we just not, for 1 minute, one day, one afternoon even, can we stop being to each other? This is why I cook, you see, because at least I can control this and it makes sense. Back to the nice things. I've got a 2 kilo bag of white potatoes. I don't think these are the best ones to do this dish with. I wanted more of a waxy type, or at least slightly more waxy, but they didn't have any in the supermarket. Everything was like great for roasting. And typically, if it's good for roast potatoes, it means it's a more floury type. I think, like in the States, I think a Yukon Gold would be the kind of optimal one to do it with. It's going to involve a mandolin. It's an easy dish and it's a simple thing to make, from what I can gather. It's just going to be a bit of a lengthy process. Then I'm melting down some vegan butter, and then I'll be doing a bit of salt and pepper, and that's it. You can put other bits and pieces in there as well. I did think about putting in some garlic or garlic powder, but I decided just to keep it simple. Because my head's in about 40 different places at the moment. I'm going to do the first potato like on camera with you. Then I'll shut everything down, put a podcast on, maybe a bit of Dungeons and Dragons because I need to escape this world right now. It'll depend on your style of mandolin, but mine's got a screw and the post comes up like that as you adjust it. I want my slices maybe 1.5 millimeters, 2 millimeters. And how well that's going to be detectable. When you're using a mandolin, please do be careful with your fingers. So just go nice and slow. Try and keep even pressure. So we're going to start with a slice in the middle. Arrange the other slices around it. Okay, so that's one circle done. That's 1 potato's worth. I'm just going to do another one. Yeah, I might replace these just because this is going to be visible, whereas the subsequent layers will be underneath, just for prettiness. So that's 1 layer done. Give it a good old brushing with butter. Then do a grind of black pepper and a small pinch of salt. And repeat. I'm going to start the oven preheating now at 180°C. That's 350 Fahrenheit. Mine's a fan assisted oven. I'm going to fry it 5 to 10 minutes just to get some colour on the bottom. Then it'll go into the oven, I think it's 20-25 minutes with the lid on, and then the lid will trap the steam and it'll cook, kind of steam the potatoes. Then I'll take the lid off and do another 20-25 minutes to get some colour on the other side, and hopefully that will be that. Filled up the pan, did the full 2 kilos in the end. I've used around 100 grams of the butter. Probably could have got away with less, maybe 70 grams, something like that. I think I'm going to cover this with a lid because my thought is it'll trap the steam and cook the top. So here it is. I think there was 5, maybe 6 layers altogether. Covering it is going to keep the heat trapped in. So I've only got it on 4. In terms of what pan to use, I'd say ideally non-stick or a very, very well seasoned cast iron skillet, that kind of thing. If you've got a non-stick pan but things tend to stick to it, don't use it. I wonder if you could maybe line it with greaseproof paper, potentially. Because it's the first time doing this, I think I'm just gonna put it in the oven because I would rather it be too pale. Once I've turned it out, I can always put it back in the pan. Let's give it another quick jiggle. Lid on, and then in the oven. This should go without saying, but make sure your pan and lid are oven safe. At the moment, I've got it towards the rear right of the oven. Halfway through, I might turn it. After it's had its 25 minutes, I'll then take the lid off, give it another 20 minutes. We'll probably pick it back up and then I can show you, theoretically, how to invert that onto a plate. Oh, I didn't really think about that. It's gonna be so heavy and hot. The Pommes Anna, I've had their 25 covered, 20 uncovered. So I think it's time to take it out, invert it. All right. Yeah, feels tender the whole way through. So I think if I do this kind of thing, woohoo! So it would have benefited from a little bit longer in the pan on the stove. I'm debating whether to risk putting it back on. Yeah, I think I might. I forgot the pan was hot. What a so frankly delicious looking Pommes Anna. They're all golden, tender, looking stunning. Yes. Potatoes, precious. So you do want your knife to be very sharp so that it doesn't compress and slide the layers around. Side on view. I'll bring it up to the camera, try and get the layers into shot. Yeah, it's a lot of gapping, but I guess that's just as I was layering it up and then transferring it in and out of the pan. Things probably split apart a little bit. I probably had it in the pan when I put it back into brown the outside. 6 minutes maybe at 5, on 5 I should say, with the lid on. So that kind of keeps the heat in the pan. It's just pure potato goodness. Very buttery and soft, but there's still a little bit of texture to them. I think the white potatoes have worked quite well because it's not just mush. I think a different variety might have a little bit more flavour. The trouble is the availability of getting something that's the right texture as well as having a bit more flavour, because these are just basic potatoes, you know. But I mean, as they are, they kind of taste, you know, slightly potatoey, very buttery, nice bit of pepper and salt going on. I just need to save space for the spaghetti pie that I've got in the oven at the moment. Ooh, do you know what I've got? I've still got the tortilla mixture that I had a go at. I think I did that one with chickpea flour and silken tofu, I think. It's been a while since I did them. And I've also still got some of the quiche mixture. Maybe do caramelize some onions and then cut slices of that, or chunks of it or something, and then pour the tortilla or quiche mixture over the top. And it's like a Spanish omelette, but just a slightly different textural thing. Yes. I'll link to those two in the description for you. I'm going to take this moment to say hello and thank you to my community over on Patreon. It's their monthly subscriptions that keeps me in spuds and butter. If you want to sign up, I'll leave a link to my platform down in the description for you. There's different tiers, so just pick whatever feels affordable for you. It's just a really nice way of showing creators an extra bit of financial support. If you'd like lots more plant-based recipe inspirations served freshly to you each week, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Look for a bell icon, give it a tap. You'll get an alert as soon as I publish a new one. While you're waiting for the next one, feast your eyes on this. Oh, bam, bam. What you like? Huh? What you like, Big Wig? Huh? Ain't good?